I put this video together because I think it speaks to something a lot of people deal with. Maybe you want to try a new skill. Maybe you want to learn something new, but you have no idea where to start and it feels overwhelming. There is always help. If you keep this open mind and are willing to learn, you can learn just about anything. Let's do it. It's a random Thursday in February. I just got out of work and now I'm on my way to do something new. I'm hungry. I won't keep talking with my mouth full, I promise. So what am I doing? I said I'm doing something new. I am taking a drawing class. I've always liked to draw. When I was a kid anyway, I would have moments where it felt like I was doing okay as drawing, but I have no formal art training at all. So there's always a place you can learn something new when you want to learn something new. It's just a matter of seeking it out and investing the time. So that's what I'm doing. Hello, neighbor. Feels good to be out of the work clothes. I found an arts place close to me here in the Cincinnati area. It's called Baker Hunt. It's in Covington. And I'm taking a class starting today called Drawing for the Absolute Beginner. I figure start at square one, learn something.
2 hours later.
Day one. There's some lesson stuff, lesson plan. Anyway, ooh, look at this. The instructor asked us to draw a young woman and an old man. I think I really captured his likeness. Again, that was done in about 5 minutes, just to kind of warm us up. Not great. Oh, this was an interesting exercise, drawing the other side of the vase. We were given this, got to draw this, thinking about lines and space and stuff. Recreating this Monet sketch, photocopy of a Monet sketch, by drawing it upside down. Again, thinking about lines, thinking about their relationship to one another, taking your mind out of it, and thinking more about the relationships that things have, and then flipping it right side up, and there you go. Actually, that's Picasso. That's me, not Picasso. This was, again, thinking about the relationship of space, not the bird. We were drawing the space around the bird. That's what it turned out looking like, which isn't great, but it's better than the first one. The first one was kind of sad. And this is something I've never been able to do, is like think about how to draw a sphere, because you've got the shading. Didn't get a ton of time to work on this. That's my excuse. But I kind of like that. I kind of feel pretty good about that. Good blending. That's not very smooth, but decent blending. You definitely get that that was a sphere. Putting it all together and thinking about space and relationship to one another and value and shading and all that kind of stuff. Started with this and we needed to draw it, and this was about a half hour of work. Some of it's not horrible. I kind of feel like I have the idea of the shape of the bowl, and I'm definitely kind of getting some of the shading in, I can hear, but it's just started. So I don't know. Sketching, pencils. Ooh, these have a little case. Graphite pencils. Ooh, white charcoal, medium charcoal, hard charcoal. I don't want charcoals. All right, this looks simple enough. I might be able to follow it. 2B, B, and HB. Ooh, and nubbins. I needed eraser. I needed that. Now we're into week 2 and week 3. I'm going to go through these a little more quickly than the other ones. We learned about foreshortening. This was a really cool example here. You've got Bruce Lee. You've got some big feet. Just the way that things that are closer to the viewer look bigger. This is one of the examples we got. And here is my drawing of it. We also took the time to actually draw something in the physical world. Our instructor brought in a tricycle and set it up, It's really interesting to start thinking about the relationship between things, what sits directly over something else, and that really was a very good exercise for helping me out with that. One of the specific things we learned how to draw was the eye. We talked about how things are laid out, kind of the structure of the eye. So I'm drawing this, and it turns out like this. I'm pretty happy with this. I spent more time shading this and trying to get some of the coloring right. Not a ton of time on this, but I'm happy with how this turned out. The last thing we did, we had a variety of portraits, straight on face shots that we tried to reproduce. And this is the one I worked on. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's not fantastic, but you know that's Abe Lincoln.
It took me like 3 hours to finish the shading on your upper lip. It's probably the best drawing I've ever done.
This could certainly be better, but it is leaps and bounds ahead of what I could have ever done on my own before I took this class. I don't think I have a natural talent, but I tell you what, I feel like I have a skill set that I can grow and build on, and I don't feel like I ever had that before. That's what this class gave me. I also took the time to talk to my instructor on camera so she could share a little bit of her insight. Her name's Nancy Pugliano. She's been teaching art classes for a long time, and she really thinks that anybody can learn a skill like this. This is for absolute beginners.
Right.
And I mean, I think most people feel like, I don't know, maybe I can't draw. What would you say to people who feel that way?
While kids start out drawing, they draw before they read, they draw before they do a lot of other things. 2, 3, 4-year-olds are drawing. I think what we really need to do is relearn how to draw. Everyone has the ability, they just need to learn how to see like an artist. It's a seeing process. When people say, I figured out what I did wrong, when they can correct their own mistakes, then they're not going to have any problems with drawing. They're going to be able to teach themselves from now on because you can figure out what's wrong. And if you can see that and you can figure that out, you can draw anything.
Well, and I also think that there's something powerful about learning face-to-face, hands-on with somebody who could give you that advice.
And sometimes you need that. You know, some people are able to figure it out. Someone else sometimes can tell you, look, I see this. Can you see this? And then when you see it, it's like a light bulb goes off. You know, oh, I understand it now. So anybody can do this? What do you think? I think so. I mean, that's what I've been saying for 20 years, that anyone can learn to draw. They really can. You were drawing before you were doing anything else, and it's just a matter of sitting down, really taking the time and looking at things clearly.
So what did I learn in all of this? I learned that intentionality is really important. Actually taking the time to focus and build a skill makes all the difference in the world. There's a big gap between wanting and doing, and that's where a lot of us get stuck. The other big thing I learned is there is help available. A lot of times my first resource that I turn to is YouTube, but sometimes it's not easy to make that leap between seeing something and being able to do it. You need that face-to-face feedback. You need someone else who knows what they're doing to show you and guide you. Well, there are plenty of places that will do that for a lot of different skills. There are community colleges, art centers, other places available where someone can teach you hand-on, or maybe just find a friend and say, hey, can you help out? So that's really the reason why I made this video, why I'm sharing it with you today. It's not because I think I'm a great artist. Obviously, I'm not. You've seen the best that I can do, and it ain't that great, but it's better than it was. And that's another thing that's important. It's about making those incremental steps, tackling those skills, trying something new, getting better. You're never going to get better at something if you don't give it a shot. I've got a lot of other videos here on my channel. Thanks for taking the time to watch this one. If you're new here, take the time to subscribe. Thanks a lot.
Just do it! Just do it! Just do it! Do it! Just do it! Just do it! Stop giving up.